Good morning. Hey, how you doing? Hi. Hello. Howdy. Thank you for clicking on this video. That makes you awesome. You're the awesome of the day. Welcome to Periwinkle Palace Arts, my little place on the internet. I'm Princess Bun Bun, and I'm here with my Bun Buns, and we do art here. Today is a Tuesday. It is a yellow day, but we're going against the color rule because I need to buy clothes. That's why. So, first thing, let us say hi to the Bun Buns. Here's Maya. Maya says hello. This is Maya. If you haven't been here before, she's my favorite Bun Bun. And she is a fibromyalgia bunny. And she's so cute. Just so cute. We had a little thing this weekend where she decided she does not want to wear pants. She does not want to wear a frilly dress. She just wants her nightshirt. And she doesn't like things on her head. So that's how it's going to be. I tried to give her pajamas to somebody else. And she said no, she wanted her pajama top back. But she gave the pants away. She's going to sit right here under my laptop. That's her spot. With her cute little funny face. We also have Legion. Legion is the dissociative identity disorder Bun Bun. And obviously, she is named Legion because she has many within her. My husband named this one. Her ears are so cute. What you doing? I often find that she hangs upside down at me. Like, she just hangs there. She just like gives you a stare. You gonna sit in a cup holder today? No? Well, where are you gonna go? Oh, you're gonna go next to it. Okay. Legion wants to let our other bun have the cup holder this morning. And our other Bun Bun is Hypno. And Hypno is the Vertigo Bunny. He has like swirls in his ears. They're textured, so it's really cool. And he has these sleepy, weirded out eyes. And I don't know what that is, but it is an alchemical symbol. And he has some on his arms and legs too. And he has this thing around his neck to represent, like, that he has trouble swallowing sometimes. And he's got that little bell. It's so cute. But it rings, and it represents, like, the ringing in your ears you get when you have vertigo. And I'm feeling a little spinny and not good in the tum-tum this morning. What's that? Oh, you want a hug? Is that better? Okay. So I'm running a little behind this morning. Usually I show up here in the morning about 8:30 on weekdays, but it's almost 9. I had a couple of technical issues this morning. We got it worked out, and here we are. So while I chatter for a minute, I'm just working on this spiral. I have no idea what the design is, because I pulled a bunch out of the books and I just labeled like I didn't even label it. Oh, here it is. I labeled what number they are in the book just in case I mess it up so I can go see what it's supposed to look like. But I just pull them out and put them in a pile and I grab them randomly, so I genuinely do not know. I think this might just be like a mandala design or something. We'll see. So I'm working on this because my hands are pretty twitchy this morning. I don't know if this pen's gonna work out for this one because it's super thin and the pen is not. Hang on, I can get it. My hands throw things all by themselves. I have no control on it. Anyway, I'm doing this to help my hands warm up a little bit and be not so like that. And then after a few minutes, we'll stop this and move on to our sepia coloring. I thought about that over the night. We were sitting in bed watching our TV show for the night. I think we were watching Blue Bloods. We love that show. This is a reminder. And all of a sudden, I just said, oh. So I can start with the color level. So BG79 is what was used for the sky against the colorless blender in the original colors. So for the sepia colors, I can grab one that's much darker and use the colorless blender with that to do the clouds. And I don't know why that was so complicated for me to think about, but it was. But I said it out of nowhere in the middle of watching TV. And I turned to my husband and he was just like, yeah, that should work, or something like that. And I was like, how do you even know what I'm talking about? And he was like, duh, you're talking about your coloring. And I was like, how do you know that? He was like, well, you randomly started spouting off marker numbers and colorless blender, and so I kind of figured it out. My point here is to tell you that I figured it out, and you know your husband is like on point with you when you say, I can use BG79 with my colorless blender, or I can use a dark color like BG79 with my colorless blender. And he knows from that you're talking about the art you were working on earlier that day. He's on point with me. All that to say that yes, I did figure out what we're going to do. This isn't working out as well as I had hoped. This this pen, the shuttle art pens that I have, the shuttle art microliners, they feather a lot. You also can't, these are not, they're not, it says they're waterproof and fade proof, but I have found that they are definitely not feather proof, and they are absolutely not good for use underneath alcohol markers, so don't use them for that. But I think I need a 0.03 nib for this and not a 0.3 millimeter nib. So those are outside in my building, and I'm not sure if I have the same color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around up to I get right there, and then we'll put this aside. So second thing I wanted to tell you this morning is that sometimes I don't like my dog that much. It's not because he's old or bored or whatever. He really enjoys the taste of my art. And so my husband walked out of the bedroom last night to see him chewing on this. Thing is, the rest of the page is gone. Like, he doesn't just chew it up. He ate it. He swallowed it. Like, he ate it. He seems to particularly enjoy anything that's paper that I've glued together. So, like, when I do paper quilling, he just eats it. He likes things that have dried glue on them, and he particularly seems to like my Express-It blending stock because he's eaten a lot of marker paper. I was going to use this, guys. This was going to be the very next piece I worked on with you guys. I had already colored it with with gray tones. And I had written out all of the colors that I wanted to use for each astrology sign. And he ate it. So, we won't be doing that project soon. Luckily, this was a page that I copied, so I still have the original somewhere. So, at some point, we will come back around to that, but thanks, Reese. So that dog eats paper. My other dog, the little one, she eats wood. Popsicle sticks, toothpicks, anything. If it's wood, she's gonna chew on it. But my husband walked out of the room and saw Reese with my page in his mouth. And if he had not walked out at that time, the page would have just disappeared and I would have suspected but never known where it went. And the thing is, sometimes it's my fault because I leave it where he can get it. But that was in one of my buckets and it was not on the floor. The bucket was not on the floor. I moved it yesterday because I looked at it and I thought to myself, that's a little bit too close to his reach. So I moved it. He went up and went into the bucket to get that piece of paper. Reese. Reese. Okay. I didn't freak out like I usually do. There was this one time, though, when he ate like 150 quilled flowers that I had been working on for like 3 days. He ate all of them in like one fell swoop. I had just stepped outside for a second, and I heard yelling in the house, and that told me what was happening. Because him eating paper is about the only thing that gets him in trouble, usually. So if you hear, Reese, it's pretty good bet that he just ate something that was my art. And he used to eat the kids' homework and stuff. One time he ate my oldest W2s. We had to get his W2s reprinted to file his taxes. Because Reese ate the whole thing. Even the part of the envelope that had the cellophane in the front of it, he ate that too. And, I mean, I used to worry about him a lot. But I've had him since 2012. He's never stopped eating paper, and the paper eating has never stopped him. So, I don't know. I guess he needs fiber in his diet, but even if I put fiber in his diet, I think he'll still eat my art. And everybody says, oh, Mommy, he just loves your art so much. I'm like, yeah, I get it. It's pretty. He loves it. It looks tasty. Don't eat my art, dog. Don't eat my art. Okay, we're going to stop it there. My hands feel like a little better. Let's move along. And I will try to get, I don't know. I might try to go out and get my other pens. But I also might just keep going with this one and see how well I can do it with this pen. We'll see. Okay. So, here we have our sepia toned rainbow. What are we thinking? How's that looking? I think for my first go at a rainbow without rainbow colors in it, that's pretty good. I'm sure that the depth and the darkness of each individual rainbow streak isn't really what am I trying to say? It probably doesn't actually match up with the shading of a rainbow. But I did try to put the lightest color by the yellow, orange, and green, so that yellow always washes out for me. So I thought to myself, well, that makes sense. The The city, I want to come back through that and with the darker color on the outlines. I just feel like it's not dark enough for me. So we're probably going to go over that a second time. Now, the next thing we're going to work on is the sky, the clouds. I found, so yesterday I was looking at this one, the Elphaba one, to get an idea of the sepia tones, but I wasn't doing very good with that. I did find the original printout of the booklet that I had for Galinda, and you can see she puts the like original with the colors right next to a sepia toned one. And so right here it says if you only need one blend to try every technique in a lesson. Use any color blend for a fun monochromatic look, or try a sepia blend for a vintage touch. And then in the different brands she gives like what markers you can use. So these are for pencils because this is the pencils class, but I used this list right here, Copic. E30, 31, 33, 35, 37, 39, and E49, and then I added a few in of my own. So let's grab these. But looking at the sepia tone, I can see a little bit more of, okay, this is what I'm going for. So we did this with, I need to write this down, don't I? I'm trying to figure out something. Give me just a second. Yes, I was right. It's BG78. So I think I want to go with E19 maybe for a different shading in the sky. And we're also going to use E49. Oh, that's really dark. I'm nervous about that. Let's use E37. We're going to use E49 for the darker color for that. And then we also need E000 and E000. We can use that for the inside of the clouds. $13, 21, 30, 31, 33. Those in order. Oh, hello, Bob. This is Bob. He's my Bob the Bad Desk Bunny. I don't know why he's bad, but he just... That's what he told me his name is. Bob the Bad Desk Bunny. I didn't label him bad. He just said he is. I think he's kind of sweet, actually. He distracts me when I'm nervous. Yes, I have toys at my desk. It's a thing. I'm trying to remember what colors I used yesterday for the castle. I think it might have been E39, E35, and E30. I was gonna write that down, but I can't remember right now. So I don't think I went out of the 30s. So I think we're gonna use is that darker? It's really not. Okay. Let me put this over here. We're gonna cut this off anyway. I don't know. I don't know if I like the E44 there. We'll see. I think we're going to go with E49 to go around that, but we're not going to do that right this second. We're going to start with E37 and E quadruple 0. I'm going to try and make the clouds small. So if we look at the ones we've done already, I have big fluffy clouds in that one. They're nice. I have some pretty big fluffy clouds in that one. They look a little bit more cartoonized. I got some weird looking clouds in that one. That was the first one that I did with marker. These clouds look weird also. That's the first one I did with colored pencil. It kind of looks like those clouds are just about to rain. Yeah, we'll call it that. These are the clouds that I kind of want to emulate here. They're small, they're fluffy. I feel like they make the sky look like it's bigger than it does. This is the original. This is her version. They always come out a little different. That's her version. And I mean, my rainbow covers the whole sky, so we need to do something different, right? Okay, so firstly I'm gonna start off with E quadruple 0. You know what? Oh my goodness. No wonder I can't get my life together at the moment. You guys, to do art, I need bunny ears. So, there we go. My yellow and orange ones are looking a little raggedy, so I thought I would just wear these like white iridescent ones today. I think. I ask that all the time. What do you think? And we need coffee. Coffee is good. If you don't have your coffee, pause this, go get your coffee. What are you doing? That hurt my tooth a little bit. You're gonna be fine. Okay. There's a hair in my eye. So, I'm being nervous is what I'm doing. Okay. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna dab it around to make clouds. These are gonna be the inside of the clouds. So I'm kind of just wetting the paper and giving it an idea of where to go. And then I'll come back with the darkest color that we're gonna use up against the colorless blender. Here it is. And we'll dab the darker color at the bottom of the clouds. And then we'll take a lighter color and do the same technique around the top of the clouds. And that's gonna give us some pretty good definition, I think. So, I said dab, and I am gonna dab, but I'm also, last time I did this, I did a, kind of a circular motion, and that came out pretty cool. So, I don't know if I want to really talk about politics, religion, you know, the usual avoidable, not avoidable, the topics you usually are told don't talk about. But here's the thing. Every day I wake up and I spend probably a good half hour in shock. I thought, I guess, and I've been called a naive person a lot in my life, and part of it is a choice, part of it is just who I am. Like, I have trouble imagining evil people. I just have a problem with it. Like, it's hard to imagine. I've seen plenty of it in my life, but I wake up every morning and I think to myself, what is happening? There are people being starved to death. There are bombs being thrown, not in two countries against each other, but the whole world. There's multiple wars being raged. There's bombs being thrown everywhere. There's shootings everywhere in the United States. Like, honestly, most of my life I have believed that as humans we had made wars like this kind of a thing of the past. I remember, like, vaguely remember having to do duck and cover drills in school. It was really early in school for me. And then they stopped. And most of my life I thought, wow, humans have advanced so far. We live in such a world that's connected, and then the internet came along and we were even more connected, and empathy and compassion seemed to flourish. And yes, there are parts of the internet where people are just crazy and sick and mean and cruel, and I do think putting a keyboard and a screen between everybody who has something to say and the world is going to, of course, produce some less than desirable conversations, I guess. But y'all, what is this world? As I was growing up, I became less afraid of the world. And now, I just don't understand. I do not understand this cruelty and this fighting. And it's not getting better. It's not getting better. This isn't going away. And so every day I get up, get shocked at the ridiculousness of what is happening in our world and the horror of it, get terrified, and then I have another cup of coffee and I come to my studio and I sit here and I do art. And now I come here and I sit in my studio and I do art, and I do it live on the internet. And there's so much that I would like to just fix on the planet, but I don't have that power. Like, I can barely handle my day-to-day life on so many levels. And so I feel helpless. And if you feel helpless too, please understand you're not alone. I know that we live in a society that constantly tells us, hey, do something about it, see something, say something. And, everybody has a hand, and that's true. I believe that. However, there are those of us who are fully disabled and really aren't able to do things. That doesn't mean that we don't feel what's going on. It doesn't mean we don't want to reach out. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this is me reaching out to you. If you're terrified, I understand. If you're horrified, I understand. If you feel helpless to do anything, I understand. If you figure out something to do, tell me. I might join you. If I figure out something to do about it, I'll tell you. I'm not going to sit here and cry. But the world makes me want to cry. And I want to put a little bit more positivity and empathy and compassion and humanity into the world. I don't know if I'm able to do that, but just know that I'm here to talk to. If it's really getting to you, I understand. Okay, we've got this first layer down, and I know that's very dark, very light and hard to see, but if you can tell, I've got like the inside of each cloud there. And I made a bunch of small ones, okay? Now I'm gonna take 0003, or I'm sorry, these zeros really get me. E000. I'm gonna bring this through just the ones that are like here down to make the ones at the bottom a little bit darker. Then I'm gonna bring this up into the bottom of the clouds that are at the top. I hope that makes sense. And I really just want to take this around the edges of these little cloud shapes that I made. I don't want to go around the whole thing because I still want the inside to be lighter. I hope that makes sense. If you can't figure out what I'm saying and it doesn't make sense to you, then hopefully when I do what I'm talking about, you can see it and it'll make sense to you. I'm doing a lot of slumping today. I need to... Ergonomics is very important in the art world. I'm just telling you. We can talk about that too if you want. Okay, so I'm just making these little circles around the clouds. Now, I listen to music all day, every day. It is a primary factor in me having a good day or a decent day, a day that I survive, okay? Which technically I've survived every single day I've ever lived, so let's give me some props there, right? Props, self-props, whatever. Yes, I'm chattery today. I'm feeling a little bit better than I have been. Anyway, so I listen to music all day, so sometimes you might see me bobbing my head, or I might, hum or break out into full-on song. I don't pretend that I can sing well. Sometimes I can, sometimes I cannot. If you find yourself wondering, well, what song has got her going like that? YouTube won't let me play music in the background due to copyright. I'm still trying to work through finding a way around that. But to get around that a little bit, see if I can do it today. I've been practicing this. Right here, that little box right there, is a little screen share from my desktop of my Spotify mini player. So you can look there and see what I'm jamming to. Okay, so I've done several of the clouds at the bottom. I've done the ones all across the bottom. And now I'm going to come back to the ones that are higher up, and I'm just going to do it on the bottom of those individual clouds, right? I'm using the fact that my hands are twitchy to my advantage here. Just letting it wiggle on its own. What you doing, buddy? Trying to yak up my art over there? Don't do any good. You already chewed it. I'm gonna be a little bitter at him for a day or two. Just, that's how it goes. Right, Reese? Did you have a good snack yesterday? But. Okay. I think that what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't really matter what your politics are at this point. People are hurting in our world and in our country, and it gets to me. It really gets to me. And I feel like a lot of people are just going crazy in their heads about it because they don't realize it's getting to other people too, if that makes sense. If this is your first time tuning in, I'll let you know that pretty much my schedule has started to work out to where I get out here about 8 o'clock, set my stream up, etc. And I try to be online by 8:30. Now, that is a fully adjustable and variable time because I work within a routine that has some rigidness, but some like plenty of flexibility into it. It's how I've learned to live my day, because I have to do things a little bit differently to accommodate for my own issues. And I mean, okay, I always do this. I'll forget to cut the edges off my page, and I end up coloring all the way to the edge. But we are going to cut it off. It helps to practice. It's a little extra area to practice in, right? This is the same issue that sometimes means that sometimes I just don't remember to leave highlights in my page. Because I have this thing where I feel like I must fill in all of the white. All right, so that was E000. I'm going to come back through really fast with E000 just to bump up the area and do a little blend. Not a lot. I am going between the castle part, the palace, and the Emerald City. I think this is actually a little bit easier than the way I've been doing them, which was to do the clouds in the sky first. I find this easier. Like, the city's already colored, so especially using this sepia color blend, I don't have to worry about it really mixing and crossing over, I guess. right. Let me look away. Reset my eyes a little bit. Hey, that actually looks pretty good, even like right now. That's kind of neat. Could almost leave it like that. Are we going to? We're extra like that. Here we go. Now, this is called the tip to tick technique, and it will not mess up your markers. There we go. So all I'm gonna do is take my colorless blender, and we're gonna get some color on it from this darker marker. All right, and then I'm gonna come in through here, and I'm gonna start at the bottom of the clouds and do these little circles. The bottoms of each cloud is gonna get a little circle like that. Oh. This takes a little bit. It can be a little tedious, but it works really well. There's a little bit of leaked out ink around the edge of the marker tip, so I'm like, just go ahead and grab that. There's nothing wrong with it. I find it easiest if I get it on the tip of the tip, like not up on the brush. Okay, so now that we've got the first dark color down, we're going to come back to a lighter color. Let me see what color. That was E37. How about E33? Let's use that. Yep. And we're doing the same thing. I'm going to put this above the clouds. So I'm going to come all around the clouds, everywhere. Except I'm going to try to not get this on the, what am I trying to say? I'm going to try and not get this on the center of the clouds. It's okay if I get it on the bottom of them. I'm gonna try doing it this way, going on the top. It feels like sometimes I can't get it to transfer. How about that? That looks pretty good. This can be a little bit of a tedious technique, but I like it. It really creates some good texture. Does it work better if I hit the marker from underneath? I'm not sure. Okay. That's looking good, I think. Alright. I'm going to come in now with a super light color, but not in the zeros. We're gonna go with E21. I'm going to bring this only around the clouds, quite messily. Just really gently kind of just coming around these clouds and blurring the colors that are there. Some of this I'm still making up as I go. I've done this technique myself once, right? On the last one we did. And when I say this technique, I mean I kind of made this my own, I guess. This isn't exactly how it was taught in the class, and that's okay. Alright, on the bottom of the clouds, I'm going to bring this color up just a little bit above the bottom fluffiness, that dark color. I'm really only going to do that on the bottom of the clouds, and I'm going to do it a little bit less on the ones at the top of the clouds. Bring that up a little bit more. Alright, let me cap this for a minute. Oh. And I'm going to come through with E000 on this edge over here, and I just want to make sure that blends. Doing these ones out here kind of gives me an idea of what it's gonna look like in my main part of the cloud. So now I'm gonna use E quadruple 0 and I'm gonna come through the entire inside of the cloud. Just a thick layer like that. Don't need to spend a lot of time with this marker on the paper. Could do this really fast. Okay, so now we can see the difference kind of between the sides and the center. Can you see? So we're gonna do the exact same thing through the center. Forgot to eat my vitamin. Again, bring that up. A little bit higher. So, something that I should mention, I guess, or I could mention, something I'm gonna mention, is that you could put cast shadows in the clouds around the city if you wanted. It just kind of depends on how close, I guess, you want your clouds to appear to the castle. And I want these clouds to appear like they're far away and the sky is like big and open. Okay. So that was, again, E21. And we're going to go through with E000. I need to make some orders online today. I don't really always like shopping online. It can be a little stressful for me. To be fair, shopping in retail store can be stressful for me too. I don't do that anymore. But I don't really go anywhere unless I have to or really, really want to. I have pretty severe agoraphobia, and look, the events in the world aren't helping, really. But I've had agoraphobia for a long, long time. I can leave the house, but it takes a lot, and it takes a lot out of me. Okay, and now we're going to come back through with E quadruple 0. I'm going to come through all of it. Well, not all of it. I'm going to come through the center of each cloud. Just in circles and smudgy and real messy. Do we want to make that darker or not? I feel like it looks pretty cool right now. What are your thoughts? What do you think? I think it looks good. I don't know if this was the same color we used or not, but let's go back through the city a little bit. My hands are a little bit more steady today than they were yesterday. And this might not be a darker color, but we were going to go back through it anyway to give it a little bit more refinement. So let's just do that. Yeah. My hands are a lot more stable today than they were yesterday. Now, part of that is because I did a little bit of that spiral this morning. It doesn't take much. It just helps to like loosen my hands up because they cramp really bad. It just, this world, it's kind of scary and depressing, right? Yeah, I'm able to get a lot better lines today than yesterday. And if you stick around long enough, you'll see I have good days, I have bad days. But we show up. We show up, we do whatever we can do, we work with whatever we've got. Breaking down on me, I'm broken. Losing hope, don't need a moonrise. Maybe I need to stop. Oops. That's looking a lot better already. You will find that I don't really neg my art very much. That's pointless. You're doing something fun and creating something pretty. So I used to be quite negative about my art, and I would get frustrated a lot, like a lot. I would throw things away, tear them up, give up. And I have been taking lessons with Elise Keegan at Kitten Clouder since the end of 2019. Basically, I found one of her free classes on YouTube while I was sitting in bed next to my husband, and we were quarantined, and he had COVID, and it was pretty bad. I didn't think he was going to make it at some points, and I was losing my mind. I found this, and I started emailing Elise with the free class, just asking questions, and she was so amazing. And I did that free class, and I was shocked. I was shocked at the result. I can show you guys some of my older art, and there's a huge difference. She's an amazing teacher, and one of the things that, well, she's an art therapist, a licensed art therapist, and so her focus in her classes is not just on the art fundamentals and techniques, which she teaches very well, but also on being mindful and using art as a way to reset and recharge and do something good for yourself. It just so happened that in my life, I kept going with the art because I found something I enjoyed that I could actually do. Now, I've colored for years. Okay, I've colored my whole life. School supplies season used to be my favorite holiday. Like, it was legit a holiday in my world. Okay, it still is, kind of, but I don't buy my supplies once a year anymore because my kids aren't in school anymore. So I don't have to have like a 17, 18 packs of Crayola crayons like in stock. So I don't have to buy them all at once now. But man, I still love me some school supply shopping. Honestly, when I started these classes in 2019, I mean, before my husband even had COVID, I was losing it. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I didn't know if I would ever do anything again. I guess it's not exaggerating a whole lot to say finding Kitten Clowder might have saved my life, in a way. And that's why I say, if you have any interest whatsoever in coloring, you should go to her YouTube channel and check out some of the free classes that she has there on YouTube. She has quite a few. She usually releases excuse me, words. I say words, okay? That doesn't mean they come out sounding right. Can you tell how much steadier my hands are today than they were yesterday? Now, if you're just joining and you don't know, I've already done this class in full color last week. So if you want to see it in full color, please feel free to hop over to last week's live stream videos and check it out. I like to mention in my videos for now that I am not a professional. I am not teaching you this class. This is not a tutorial. We are doing a live art and chat. If you want to learn how to do this, please go visit kittenclowder.com and purchase a class. And then if you want to, you can come back and be like, hey, I purchased this class and I probably already have it. And if you wanted to, we could do it together, but you have to purchase the class yourself. Elise works far too hard on these classes for me to steal that from her. I will never be showing her video on my videos or my streams. I have no affiliation with them. This is just the art I'm doing today. And I do a lot of classes on video, but I have been doing quite a few lately. But yeah, I'm not a professional here. I'm not a professional anything. I'm just doing art and being here while I do the art. I would be sitting here doing this whether there was anybody here or not, because this is part of my daily process. I just want to also mention that I'm not redoing the cast shadows yet. I might not go back over the cast shadows. I might leave them at the depth they're at right now. I don't know. I just realized my head basically disappears when I get down that low. Oops. I saw that when it came in, comma, but I thought it was in response to my morning video, comma, which didn't send yet, period. Let me try that again, period. But what brought that on? My goodness. I didn't know what that noise was. Well, I'm not gonna say it because I might jinx myself, but my hands are so. I just said I'm not gonna say it. Okay, my hands are super steady today. But watch me mess this up just because I said that. Almost there. I think we got it all. There's a few little pieces that I missed. Yep, that looks good. Okay. We don't want that to look so sharp. So sharp. I'm going to grab E30 and we're gonna go through the whole thing real fast. Same as we did yesterday. Sort of. I decided, well, I said I was thinking about it, but I just, I decided not to come back through and do the cast shadows. I think they look a little bit better being softer. I wish that YouTube would not replay me videos that I've already seen. Like, that's as great as their algorithm is, you would think that they wouldn't play the same thing over again multiple times when you have it on autoplay. But that is not the case. That is not how it works. And a lot of times, I'm not really paying attention really close to the TV. It's just kind of background, and if something catches my interest, I'll pop my head up and, what is that? And I've been listening or watching the same video that I watched twice yesterday for about 30 minutes before I realized, oh, I've already seen this. I guess it would annoy me if it was just like DIYs or makeup or something like that, but it's not. It's news. Don't make me watch it twice. Gee. Alright. I like that. Make it a little bit more fuzzy down at the bottom here than at the top. I like that. So, we've got a sky with a rainbow in it and a pretty decent looking city. While I'm thinking about it, let's see if I can cut something in a straight line. Okay. my favorite ruler that I can't see the numbers on because they're faded off. You'd think I'd buy a new one by now, but I don't know. It's got this corkboard stuff on the back of it. And I have other rulers that have like little tabs on the back of them, non-slip tabs. But they don't work as well as this one. And this one's the perfect length. So that's that. Where is my black pencil? I prefer to use a pencil to do these kind of things because I can erase it. I almost grabbed the pen. All right. That right? Good, good. So doing this before I continue coloring down this way is great because I won't lose the edge of the actual page. And I can line it up pretty well. We're even going to take off the bottom here. Okay. Let me double check all my edges here. We used this the other day. I need to get the blade off there so it'll be sharper. These are my handy dandy trusty yellow pliers. They go with me everywhere. Yes, sometimes I even put them in my purse and bring them with me places. But I have had them for years and years and years, and they never fail me. I shouldn't be doing this by myself. This is actually one of the things that I'm supposed to not do when there's nobody home. Technically, there's 2 people home, so if I slice myself open, there's somebody here to drive me to the ER. There we go. Take that. I need to find something. I need something to put this in. Oh, I got a piece of cardboard. Oh, even better. I got a can. There. Ah! And now, let us trim the sides here. I probably should have done this with my scissors, but that's not straight. It curves up right there. There we go. I mean, can we call that close enough? I'm really not good at straight lines here. Ever. Okay, now we have edges. Yeah? Thank you, handy dandy pliers. It looks kind of neat, yeah. Okay, let me do these little bushes right here, and then we'll go to lunch. Does anybody know what colors I was just using? Dance it out. We're going to pretend that I know that this was the color we were using. You hear me? I'm just going to add a little dimension to these little bushes. Alright, that was E37. So let me grab E35. We're just going to blend this out. I'm saying I know. It's fine. I'm okay. I promise. Let's grab E33. Yeah. And blend that out just a little bit more. And then we're gonna come through with E21. Because I want, you know, the castle and these particular bushes to pretty much look the same. I'm just gonna do this quickly. And then I'm gonna go right over the top of the bushes to blend the cast shadow pretty much into the buildings there. Let's see, it's 10:43. I think I have time to do maybe one more section. I think we're gonna make this one pretty light though, because I got it pretty dark in the last blend. So we're gonna go with let's see. Let's do E33, E21, and E13. Let me test that and make sure it blends okay first. That's 33. Sometimes the tone can be a little bit off from what I expect, so. Well, honestly, I almost feel like E13 is darker than E33. What's going on there? What's going on? Okay, so I'll just swap them. So we'll do E33, E13, E21. Yeah? All right, let's do it. Come right here. I'm gonna come really carefully around her little strand of hair. Very careful. Actually, I'm not even gonna do the inside of that yet. And then right? I'm gonna go right over the top of that with E13. I'm gonna come a little bit further out as well. Also, All right. And I'm go back over that with E21. And I'm only doing this little section right here because I do want to see how it looks. And I'm going to do this quickly. Just lay down one good coat. And then we'll come back the other way. Yeah. I don't know if I like that, but we're gonna go with it for now on the rest of these parts, and then if we don't like it later, we can change it. Yeah? Okay. So I'm gonna bring this along here. This right here. And then also I'll come right over the roof. I need to look at this real quick. Okay. Okay, on this line right here, I'm gonna come a little bit lower than the line itself. And then on top of it, I'm gonna come up a little higher than the line, like so. So I wanna leave that little strip there for the yellow brick road. All right, I'm gonna come down and cover this area as well. I'm sort of eyeballing this. That wasn't exactly what I was going for there, but it works. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to come down here now for this area. Wait, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and blend out this part so it doesn't dry down too much. And then, okay, E21 again. I think maybe this color combination just doesn't have enough separation between the colors, between the levels, so I'm not getting a lot of contrast. But we're going to go ahead with it anyway. Let's see how it dries out. We can come back through and change it up. Where'd I put E33? Here it is. Is that the one I used? E33? I'm gonna be real careful around her face. Sometimes when I'm doing colored pencil, well, sometimes when I'm doing marker too, it depends on what I'm doing. I'll use masking film to put over it before I start. That way I can peel it one section at a time. And I almost always do that on characters if I do nothing else. I don't do it so much anymore now that I've gotten more comfortable with the medium. Down the side, and then all right, 13. And after I do this part, we're gonna call it lunch. I'm pretty sure I'll be back for an afternoon stream today. Right? And let's come back over it. And I can tell you right now, we're gonna redo this area, but I'll go ahead and finish it out the way we started it so that we don't get mismatched coloring. Yeah, I don't really like the depth that that is giving. I wanted it to be lighter, but not that light. All right, guys. I think we did pretty good for this morning. Sorry, I'm just a little stumped by the lack of depth there, but we'll fix it later. Okay, it's time for me to go to lunch, 11 o'clock. I'll be back in about an hour, hour and a half. Just, like 12:30. Yeah, that's what I got. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. If you have comments later, pop them down there. I'll respond to all the comments. And this is Periwinkle Palace Arts, my little home on the internet. I'm Princess Bun Bun with my Bun Buns. And we did art here this morning. Have a good lunch.